for those of you who do not know me, I'm Colson, and this is a channel that I'm starting up, specifically geared towards Ford Rangers, specifically the 01 to 2011 models. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a walk around of this one that I just picked up. This is my third four-wheel drive version. All the four-wheel drives I've had have been 4.0s with a 5R55E and 410 gears. This one actually has 373s. I'll get to that though. This one I just picked up. It's a 2002. It is Highland green, and she's beat up. She needs a lot of work. It's got 15-inch wheels on it. The previous owner had these and some 35s on it, and he cut the fenders. We'll be repairing that at some point. I'm not sure what shocks these are. I believe they're Wolf Off-Road, but I haven't even got in there to look because I just got it home the other day. But yeah, go ahead. And the interior is pretty decent. As you can see, it's got carpet. That's gonna go. It's got a 60-40 split bench seat. That's gonna go. It's gonna get buckets and a center console. Let's see. We also got some lights that came off of some of my other projects. I'll be installing those on this. The bed's pretty rough. I'm gonna end up replacing that at some point. And as you can see, the old door handle's done broke, which is pretty common for these. We'll go ahead and replace that too. Somebody's hit it back here. So this is actually Bondo, but we're gonna fix that. Hold on, move this out of the way. See, they've crumpled it pretty good, so I've got to pull that off. We already did some of the things that I've had on my other truck, like this here hook. I don't know what my deal is with this hook, but I love this damn hook. Oh, and the lights are gone. There's one, but it doesn't work, so I've got to replace that. They didn't even install the headlights correctly. I had to go through and put them back in. I guess I didn't get this one back in all the way. I've got to align them. Oh, I guess it just completely fell back out. That's fine. But I've got to go back in and realign them. This one's still good. The grill will be getting replaced as well. And I'll make videos to cover all of this stuff. The first thing that's going to get done on the channel is going to be the zip tie mod. There's been plenty of other people post the video about how to do it, but I'm going to go ahead and post mine too. And after that, we'll be taking the 5R55E transmission out, and dude, my neighbors are arguing. This is crazy. But we're going to take the 5R55E trans out, and we're going to replace the valve body gaskets, and we're going to put a Sonax, I think it's Sonax, yeah. I'm going to put a Sonax shift kit in it. The transmission actually overheated on my 2-hour drive back home from Waco, Texas. And so I'm not sure if the clutches in it are smoked, but if they are, oh well. I'm sure I can find a 5R55E pretty cheap. So that's not too big of a deal. I'm trying to think what else we're gonna do that can get you guys. Oh, so the previous owner actually punched the stereo out as well. I'll have to fix that. We're gonna get a new bezel at some point too, because he's broke this out, but it's pretty common for those to break out. I'm not going to say that he did that on purpose. That's obviously on purpose. It's got 210,000 miles on it. For the most part, the motor is stock. I actually don't think he's done anything to it other than, I'll show you, but I'll show you before I even tell you. You're gonna look at this and you're gonna go, oh, that's not how you're supposed to do that. Here, we'll go ahead and get this up. Alright, so like I said, it's a 4.0. Like I said, pretty stock. But I'd like to show you guys this. I've never seen anybody do the airbox mod. If you guys aren't familiar with the airbox mod, I am going to be replacing the bottom portion of the airbox, and I'll give a video on how the airbox mod is actually done. That'll work. I'll leave it there for a second. Hopefully it doesn't fall over. Go ahead and pull that out of there. Get her on out of the way. Okay, so in a stock box, there's usually a cone right here that you just pull out. You kind of twist and pull, it pops out. This, the previous owner, he just chopped the whole thing out and even made him a new hole over here. I've never seen anyone do that. And the problem with it is, when you hit a puddle, because I'm sure if you're lifting your Ranger, you're taking it mudding, you're going off-road, so you're going to run into some water, more than likely. And so, this basically is going to allow water to get up into the intake, which, as you can see, has already happened. But it's not too big of a deal. It's something that I can very easily deal with. So when I first got it, the radiator was also, it wasn't sitting on its mounts. There's these mounts right here. These were hanging off right here. Instead of being right there where they were over here. And he still had it bolted in right here. So I'm not even sure how he really managed to get it in there, but he did. This has also got an aftermarket transmission cooler that I'm going to be replacing because I do believe that it's clogged. Like I said, it's got some transmission issues that I'm going to have to fix. So let me go ahead and put this airbox back on real quick, and I'll do you guys a startup. Probably not going to leave the phone there to do the startup though. It might not work out well. I'm sure you guys would find out at that point what it looks like for a phone to end up in the fan blades. I'm actually kind of curious as to what that would look like as well, but I'm not going to destroy my phone to find out. Come on, get in there. And I don't know what the deal is, but for whatever reason, the seal on cheap air filters for these trucks seems like it's too big to fit under the airbox like it should, and so it's kind of a pain to get it in there. But it's not too big of a deal. We'll change spark plugs. It's got a misfire on cylinder 4, so we'll be changing the spark plugs at some point. For those of you who don't know, cylinder 4 is this guy right here. And as you can see, this wire says number 6. That's not number 6, this is number 4. And it is the only mismatch wire in the engine bay. All the rest of these are Ultima Select. Never even heard of that brand, but it's fine. It made a 2-hour drive home. And he's also got some wiring in here that I'm going to be replacing. I'm not necessarily going to say that that's not the way it should be done. I mean, there is a relay, and you know, he routed it the way that I would have routed it, and the way that I am going to route it. But yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. and we're gonna get it done, and I'm gonna walk you guys through the process. And there will also be other cars on the channel. For instance, I've got a 2016 Nissan Altima. It's not necessarily my car. I bought it for my wife, but we got to do brakes on it here in the next couple days, so that's probably going to be one of the videos. And these will be getting replaced as well. I've actually never replaced them, but we can learn together, guys. I got to do some dash lights. I've done that plenty of times, and my oil pressure sensor gauge. It's I guess there's LEDs back behind there. Obviously, some of them are burnt out, but I guess when he did the LEDs, he moved the gauge. I'm not really sure. The gauge works fine. It just it's in the wrong spot. So there's a needle down at the bottom. There's a needle right there, and so basically the gauge goes up to that needle and it doesn't move. Oh, and thermostat housing. We're going to be replacing the thermostat housing as well. Let me go ahead and give you guys a startup. Like I said, it's got a misfire on cylinder 4, but we're gonna get that fixed. It still runs pretty smooth. Doesn't have any timing ticks. You can hear the valve train pretty well, but I think it's just because it's got some really old oil in it. It's pretty dark. It needs an oil change bad. He's done a muffler delete on it, and definitely didn't do it the way that I would do it, but it's fine. It works. So that's where the muffler would usually go, and he's just welded a tip on it. But it's still got catalytic converters and all that good stuff. So it's not too big of a deal. Oh, and like I said, how he had put the 35s on it. He crushed the bed pretty bad. I guess from flexing on it on both sides. Same with the other side. And this axle here, I'm going to shut the truck off so you guys can hear. But as you can see, it runs pretty good. But it does have that misfire. But this axle, so when this truck came from the factory, it had 410 gears, and it wasn't a limited slip rear end. And so what he had done was take an Explorer, a Ford Explorer rear end, which is still an 8.8, and he's put that rear end in the truck. He's modified it to fit in, and so this rear axle has 373 gears, which I guess he didn't take into account that the front axle, well, I guess the front differential, since it doesn't necessarily have an axle, it's got 410s in it still, and so now got 373s back here, 410s up there with the same size tires. That doesn't work well. And so I'm going to show you guys how he put that in there, and we'll be pulling this out anyway. I don't like the fact that he put that in there. And so basically, that right there, he's welded in place to act as the old block supports. That may not be what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it. And so it's got a lot of axle wrap, and he's put the stock blocks on top of that as well. It's got a lot of axle wrap, and so it's got to be fixed, guys. It's got to be fixed. But oh, and he did put, I'm not sure what brand those are. I actually usually use the AutoZone shackles, but he's put these in. I'm sure he ordered them online somewhere. They work. They are greasable as well. The AutoZone ones aren't, but the AutoZone ones have polyurethane bushings too, and I doubt that those do. But yeah, it's got 33-inch Toyo open country tires on it. Trying to think. This is an Autofeel 42-inch light bar. I'm gonna have to take these mounts off of it. I had bought mounts separately without measuring what I really needed, and so let me just set this up here. When it sits on top of the truck, there's no airspace there, and the mounts don't touch. They don't touch the roof, and so that's no good, guys. Yeah. And also, I'd like to, I don't know if you guys who know who Old Gregg is, but Old Gregg is a fictional character. Well, I guess he's not really fictional. He's a character in somebody's head, I guess. Look up Old Gregg. That's Gregg with 2 NGs. So G-R-E-G-G, Old Gregg. And that is the name of this truck, and you'll understand why. I've also got to replace both the wheel bearings. I've got one bearing in the house from one of my old trucks that's just a little bit better than the passenger side bearing is. So I may go ahead and replace it for that one. Because money is tight right now. You know, coronavirus. It's going around right now. But yeah, got some good stuff to be doing. And so coolant. They put in straight coolant. This is not a 50-50 mix. So that's not good either. I'm trying to remember, there was something else about this truck that was a little off. Oh, you guys should see the welds on this bumper. They're these actually aren't as bad, but there's some underneath that are just like, goodness gracious. The shackles, these will be getting replaced too. It looks like somebody's cut this out with a plasma torch. But yeah, she's rusty and crusty, and she needs a lot of work. We're gonna redo this this frame back here as well. It needs to be painted. Looks pretty rough. The front looks pretty good. I can't complain about the front. I'll probably redo it as well. But with that being said, guys, I'm gonna leave you guys there with that, and hopefully you guys will follow me, and you'll enjoy the journey of the truck as much as I will. Because like I said, this is my third 4-wheel drive. I've had 5 Rangers altogether. They actually, the first video that I ever posted, it's not actually a Ranger. It's a Mazda B2500, but the only difference is the header panel, headlights, grille, front fenders, and bed, and then the emblem on the dash. That's really all that's different. So it's pretty much a Ranger. But yeah, that's the vehicle that's doing the burnout in that first video. But I still put it in there as a Ranger, because why not, right? But I'm going to leave you guys with that. Y'all have a good one, and see you next time.